Right, so this is the Young Link guide. It was a sub goal, and it's one of the characters I've been enjoying the absolute most. He might actually even be my new main. I think he's really, really underrated right now by a lot of people. And I also think he's the best Link. Early on, people had a lot of hype for Adult Link, and some people were saying that Toon Link was better than Young Link, but I really don't agree with that. And we're gonna kind of go through why throughout this guide, but like the short thing is just that Young Link is really fast, his aerials are amazing, his projectiles are the best. Especially compared to young Adult Link, his bombs are really good. Adult Link's bombs are good when you have time to set up, but they can be less practical and they don't set up for kills nearly as well as Young Link's do. While that also applies to Toon Link also has amazing bombs. Toon Link does not have amazing arrows, and he does not have the aerials or the speed Young Link has. Alright, so first off, we're gonna start with his specials. Arrows are really, really good projectile. You can use them for short hop auto cancel. This is something that everyone was super hyped up in the beginning, and the hype kind of died down around Young Link, mostly because they found out that arrows don't really hit people that aren't too tall. Like, they go over if you auto cancel them. However, they're still good just to throw out like this because they're still fast. They still cover a lot of ground. If you hit them close, you get a dash attack conversion usually. It depends a little bit on percent, so at this percent it might be hard. So you need to use the instant dash attack for this one too. I think that's about all you need. Yeah, so at this percent it starts comboing to stuff. You can also go for grab after it. But yeah, in general, arrows are really good combo extenders, which we'll go more into later. And they're just a good projectile for quickly getting something out there. It doesn't do too much damage, but it does control a lot of space. So definitely learn how to short up these, learn how to delay them as well. So that if you know your opponent isn't trying to jump, because he's afraid of short up arrows, you could just charge it a little bit extra and snipe them that way. They're also pretty good for edge guarding. You can jump out and then pull up from the combo. But again, we'll go more into that in the advanced part, which will be later. Next up is bombs. Well, bombs I would say is Young Link's best projectiles overall. You can do so many different things, and again, we'll go more into these later, but the basic thing you want to do with bombs is you throw them at your opponent and you combo from them. I would recommend short up fair or short up Nair, just as the easy starter to combo from. And you can also do stuff like run up smash. You can do a single hit fair, which comes into other things. You can jump throw them. You can Z drop them. There's so many things you can do with bombs, and most of them are really, really fucking amazing. So we'll go more into them later again, but for now, just know that you should be trying to pull bombs whenever you have time, really, against most characters. There's a few characters where I wouldn't recommend throwing bombs, but those are generally characters that don't let you do it safely to begin with. So think really, really fast characters or characters with a lot of quick projectile presence, such as like if you think you're going to get hit by like a Rob Gyro, maybe don't pull the bomb, or maybe full jump before you pull it. But overall, you should be playing with a lot of bombs, almost always. And yeah, just always be ready to pull a bomb. Next up is Boomerang. Boomerang is, I think, Young Link's most underrated projectile. It doesn't look too much when you just like throw it out there. Like, it's pretty slow startup, whatever. If you catch it mid-range, you have to catch it sometimes, which will add some lag like that. But it's actually a really, really good combo starter. Even from this range, you can usually jump over it and do something like that. You can throw like Boomerang into bombs, and you can also dash attack at a lot of ranges. It depends on what range you're at, obviously, and sometimes you'll get this scenario where you catch the Boomerang, but as long as you're in an animation, you generally don't get the lag from the catching. So if I wanted to combo here, I would have to time my jump, as you see, right when I'm in range to catch it. It can be kind of tricky, but it's definitely something that you'll get used to over time. And a lot of the time, it doesn't even matter if you catch or not, you still get the combo, especially higher percent. One of the big things that people don't know about Boomerangs, and this is useful if you're trying to fight against Young Link as well, is that close range, it's actually safe. And if you do Smash Boomerang, it does almost 16% damage, which is just ridiculous. And you also get like full combo from it. Generally, you can do short of fair from this as well. But you can also do a couple of different things, such as throw another Boomerang right away. And up B into another combo. So you can do a lot of things from point blank Boomerang. It's just a really solid tool since it is safe on shield, which not a lot of strong combo starters are. You can just do this, and if they shield, you spot dodge, or you roll away, or you press jab. And if they don't, you still have projectile out. And even if you do get hit while throwing the boomerang, since it comes back, it can usually interrupt their combos. It's also one of your best moves to use for edge guarding. Since it's so active, it's always out there, it's always relevant, and you can usually follow up from it, and it can save you as well if you do get hit. So definitely try to learn how to use Boomerang. I recommend short hopping Boomerang a lot. It helps when you're approaching with it like this. And it also just helps you keep moving while you have the pretty lengthy startup. But of course, there's situations where you want to just dash into Boomerang as well. Next up is up B. So Youngling's up B is kind of weird, but it's actually very, very, very good. First off, the grounded one leads into combos. The most basic one is to see where they are and do up air. At really low percents, you can also get multiple back air strings, such as that. But that's something that I would save for like once you're getting a bit more advanced. Generally, just do up B into upper. Now, they can actually DI this, but it's pretty much random which side they get sent. So your opponent's DI will also have to guess. And at higher percents, so above like 100-ish, I think, on most characters, you can get up B into upper, which will kill. And there's actually a pretty big window. And again, they can DI this, but it's random. So about 50% of the time, you will get a kill from this. And the other times, you will get just a, like an advantage state where you have the juggle on them. You can also fair into up B, for example, and then do it. And obviously, just shielding into up B is really good. I would also say that at very low percents, if you hit a bomb or a boomerang, I would recommend doing up B as your confirm. Like, just that simple confirm does 41%, which is a lot. As well as you can also do strong nair into up B. Now, the aerial version is something that you would generally use to combo with and recover, obviously. So, at about 100, you get down tilt into up B that will kill. You can also do like a lot of things before that. So you can do fair into up B. Fair down to up B. And generally you want to like follow them out as far as you can without dying. And then once you actually hit the strong hit, then you try to start fading back. This can also combo from a bomb, for example. You can do bomb, arrow into up B. You can do boomerang into up B. Really, you can do most things. You can do a lot of different things into aerial up B and it'll kill. But it is not very strong mid-screen, so just know that even though he's at 100 here, he doesn't go very far at all if you do it like not close to the edge. You will usually just end up doing fair here instead if they're mid-screen. Let's move on to the ground moves before we go on to the best part about Youngling, his aerials. So the most notable ground move I would say is down tilt. I already showed you some of the combos with that. Down tilt is safe as long as it's a little bit spaced on the opponent's shield. And it will combo at basically any percent. Generally, starting out, I would recommend just doing down tilt short up fair. That is generally what you want to do at a lot of percents. And then once you start to learn a bit more situations, you can start doing up B and so on. But yeah, you can also combo into it from nair. You can do fair down tilt. You can do, back at one down tilt. You can do a lot of things, and it can also two-frame, although it is a bit inconsistent and doesn't work against everyone. But generally, this is your main ground move, I would say. If you're only going to use one ground move, this is it. So use it for ledge trapping, use it as a parry punt, like parrying into it, spot dodge into down tilt. It just has such a good reward while also being relatively safe that there's no reason not to use it a lot of the time. Next up is F-tilt. F-tilt's like a pretty strong F-tilt, but it doesn't do anything particularly well other than just have that kind of front hitbox. I would generally do this one sliding and sometimes for ledge trapping and maybe two-frame. I think you can two-frame with it, but overall not the best F-tilt. Doesn't hit too quickly, but it can be a good like, I just want a sword hitbox in front of me. I want to outrange someone. And, it's just a nice move to have, but it's nothing spectacular or anything. Up tilt is a pretty decent, like, combo tool a lot of percents. But you need to generally hit the last part of it. So if you do up tilt like this, you don't get a combo. But if you get the last hit of the up tilt, you can actually combo. Actually, I don't know if either one works at 0%. But yeah, generally reverse up tilt into back air is the one you want to do. It's not the best up tilt or anything. It does start killing at higher percents, so keep that one in mind. But when you do hit the last part, it can be really, really effective. And it also starts coming into nair at a little bit higher percentage as well, even if you get the front hitbox. Up tilt is generally a pretty good up tilt, but it's not like the best up tilt or anything, but definitely a solid move to have to juggle and to get small commercial stuff. Jab is a pretty standard jab. It's a little bit slow, 6 frames, so you won't be using it too much, but you know, it does decent damage. It does like 12-13%. Has a lot of range for a jab, which is always good. And you can do like dash up jab, and you will slide a little bit. So like, it's one of those like boxing moves that you sometimes want to use, but don't rely on it too much. Generally, I would say you want to do short up nair instead in close situations, since short up nair is only 1 frame slower. Next up, we have his smashes. So down smash, pretty good, like quick move to just throw out. It's like 10 frames. So one of the confirms you can do is you can do fair into down smash, and when it hits, which can kind of be a little bit specific, you need to make sure that they like they're not too high for it to hit. It can be a good kill confirm, especially if you hit the hilt part of it. It actually does a little bit less damage if you hit the tipper of down smash, as you see there, versus the hilt so close up. So keep that one in mind. The other hitbox ends the same way. It's kind of the same move, just slightly weaker. Next up, we have up smash. Up smash is one of probably his best overall smash, mostly because it's strong. It hits on frame 10. You can do it out of shield, you can do it out of run. And yeah, just very, very solid thing. And you can combo into it as well. So sometimes you get bomb to up smash, for example. You can get arrow to up smash. You can get, obviously, boomerang to up smash. And your aerials also confirm to up smash. So fair up smash and back air up smash. You can also use it for a tech chase. So let's say you get a weak nair. You run up, you see that they second place, or no tech, and then you up smash. Very, very good smash, and it will start killing at 120-ish on most characters. It depends a little bit on the stage, obviously, but it's a good way to kill naturally, and it's just something your opponents always have to watch out for. His strongest smash is his F smash, and it's a 2-hit F smash, just like Adult Link. The problem with the F smash is it's pretty hard to hit confirm, so most of the time you just have to see, oh, did it hit? Then I have to do the second part. You can't really like F smash and then wait and do the second one. It doesn't actually combo anymore then. But you can wait just a tiny bit. So with time, you'll learn to confirm this. It is a pretty good F smash actually. I think it's very underrated. He takes a big step forward. So as you can see here, if I just input the F smash, it will hit. And one of my favorite confirms with Young Link is nair, step forward F smash. Yeah, weak nair into step forward F smash, which will kill a lot of percents. Just a really good move. You can use it for ledge trapping if you think they're gonna stand up. You can just be over here and then bam. Do the first F smash, you see that they stand up, you do the second one. You can also combo into this one with back here one and sometimes fair one, but it's not something I would recommend in general because it's a bit too inconsistent and generally doesn't start working until really high percent. Grab, Zhongli has a tether grab. It's really far range, but it is pretty laggy, so you can't really just do like this. Like the pivot grab, just catch people super easily. It's not no risk like some other pivot grabs are, but it is a very far range grab. But it is slow, it's 12 frames, so you do have to watch out when you throw it out. But overall, I think tether grabs are way better than they've ever been in this game, so it's not too big of a drawback, and sometimes can even be a positive. You can just grab them from really far away when they don't really expect it. It's also better than most grabs at hitting in the air. So you see, you can do like that, for example. So definitely keep that one in mind. As for throws, you generally want to do down throw. Down throw can lead, especially at low percents, can lead into the backer strings like I mentioned earlier. It can be really hard though. But yeah, you kind of have to get momentum. The problem with down throw is that if the DI, I can't really show this, but if the DI, they go a lot of different ways. You have to be really ready and sometimes you dash after them and short up upper, for example, or full jump upper at higher percents. So if you have a lot of trouble with that, I would recommend doing up throw up air. It doesn't combo for quite as long, but it does still combo. Up throw is slightly easier to follow. They can't DI as much, and sometimes you want the better positioning. But in general, I would say default to down throw, and your most common follow up from it at a mediocre level all the way up to like top level is just going to be full jump upper. It does a lot of damage and it just sets up for juggles really well. It stops comboing at really high percents. You can also do like down throw up heat, but in general stick to full jump upper, maybe full jump nair if you really want the edge card. His forward throw and his back throw are all kind of just generic forward throw and back throws. Like you don't get anything from them as far as I know. And you mostly use these guys to kill at really high percents and to just set up gimps at low percents. So next up we have the best part about Young Link, his aerials. Young Link's aerials are what makes him so much better than both regular Link and Toon Link. And honestly, he has one of the best sets of aerials in the entire game. So first up, we'll start out with Fair. Now, Fair has a lot of startup, but has very low landing lag, only 6 frames. The first one combos into stuff, so you can do Fair 1 into land stuff. I already showed you the up smash confirm. One of your most standard strings will be Fair 1 and then down tilt, which also leads to stuff. So this is a very good confirm to do in a lot of places. And it can be really hard to punish on shield. Both Fair 1 and Fair 2 are both safe on shield. So you don't have to worry at all. If you think they're going to grab, you can just spot dodge. And a lot of time you can even jab before they can do anything else. As far as confirming from them, just know that the higher percent you get, the easier it is to confirm from them. They fly slightly higher and have slightly more hit stun. So don't try to do Fair up smash at low percents. And at really high percents, you have to wait a tiny bit before you do the down tilt, or it will whiff. So see how the down tilt misses there? So you can still hit it, but you just have to wait a little bit longer. So yeah, it's going to be one of your main killing moves as well, because it combos from almost everything. It does have a little bit of startup. It's like 14 frames startup or something. So be a little bit cautious when you're trying to throw it out. It's not going to, it's not a Rising Lucina Fair or Rising Wolf Fair. It will take a little bit of time before you get the first hitbox out. So just keep that in mind. But otherwise, it's a very good aerial. Super active, really good for edge guarding, has very little aerial lag as well. Like you can do so many fairs off stage. Yeah, you can definitely do 3. Okay, next up we have up air. So up air is a really long-lasting juggle move. It has a very big hitbox and it will beat almost everything. Now, the big problem is that at low percents, it's not very strong. And the strong hit of up air isn't out for very long either. It does still do decent damage even if you hit the weak one. It still does 14, right? But as you see here, he doesn't go very far and you don't get as good of a juggle opportunity as you do with some other characters where their upper is a lot stronger at low percents. That's the main problem, I would say, along with a decent amount of landing lag. And it also doesn't go like in a huge arc, say Ike upper. But overall, it's still a really good aerial. Starts killing at higher percents. You can also combo into it from like down tilts. Even at kill percents, this will combo. And as I mentioned earlier, up B into up air, Boomerang into up air, you know, most things, all right? So next up we have Downer. Now Downer is probably his worst overall aerial. The only really good thing about it is that it is a long-lasting hitbox that can beat juggling moves that are not very good. So it won't beat like Palutena up air, it won't beat Lucina up air, but it might be Cloud up air, it'll beat Falcon up air sometimes, so it will trade. So it's a decent move to threaten when you're falling down. If you don't fast fall, it will also bounce on the opponent, but if you fast fall, you will always just hit the ground. In general, I would save this one for combos, so it's your strongest aerial finisher most of the time, unless you're close by the edge, in which case it's up B or fair. Do it sometimes out of shield maybe, to get that like early kill, it's okay, like so. And keep in mind that it's not like it is in Melee where I think it gets stronger the longer it's out. In this game, you need to hit Downer the frame it comes out basically to get the strongest hit. Now, it is worth noting that it auto cancels very close to the end of the hitbox. So if you do manage to have all of it out, you can get combos at mid percents with this. And also some sweet edge guards, but they're very situational. Let's try 69. So that, for example, comboed. So just keep the move in mind, but don't like use it too much, I would say. I don't use it personally too much yet, but I'm trying to incorporate it more. Next up, we have back air. Now, back air is a move that will whiff on a lot of short characters when you do it rising. So for some characters, it's going to be that type of move where I use it if I think they're going to jump, and I use it for combos, or if I just need a hitbox behind me, but I'm turned around. But for some others, like I guess Lucina, for example, you can actually just use it as a really, really good approach option. One of the best things with back air is not only does it do 14 damage, actually 12. It does 14 if you full jump it. But that's very, very, very low end lag. So you can do back air into jump, you can do back air into arrow, even in a short hop, you can do back air bomb, back air boomerang. But you can also do back air nair, and the nair will actually come out and have a hitbox before you land. So sometimes you'll get these crazy pressure strings with back air. You do rising back air on their shield, and then you do falling nair, and then you can do another rising back air. Really, really crazy good move. But now the one thing that is bad about it is that sometimes it will whiff. It won't. The second hit won't really hit consistently sometimes. I'm having a lot of trouble reproducing this, but trust me, it will happen like that a lot of times in a tournament. I mean, in a real match setting. Unless you're carefully making sure that you don't have too much momentum in either direction when you start the back here. This can be a really real big problem when you want to do, say, down throw fall-offs, where you have to make sure that you're on the right side but also have momentum. And it's honestly just something that's going to be really advanced, and it's going to be something that, you know, myself and other people try to like get better at, but it's going to take a while, I think, to get really consistent back air combos. Does it kill? I don't think back air kills, but to be honest, I haven't really checked that high percents. No, it does not really kill. You can kill as an edge guard though. I would also say that it's a very good edge guard tool in general. Because it's so fast, you can throw out a lot of back airs and still be, you know, ready to recover whenever. You can also do it like do run off back air like that to try to stage break someone. And because there's such low lag, even if they tech it, you can a lot of the time do like a fair or a up B to cover the tech option. So they're really, really good offstage aerials. And in general, very good if your opponent's on platforms, if they're in the air. You know, never be really too afraid to throw this one out. Just because of how quickly it recovers, you won't be getting punished for it a lot. And also, I did not realize that you can do back air into back bear one. I had no idea about this. What the fuck? Young is insane. What? Anyway, next up we have Youngling's best aerial overall, his nair. Now his nair is a pretty standard sex kick, which basically means it starts strong and gets weaker later. It's a really old melee term, don't use it. Don't be a degenerate like me. The good thing about his nair is that it both comes out quickly, has a long-lasting hitbox, and it recovers quickly. So as you see, I can do a short up nair. As long as I do it as soon as possible, I get another short up nair. I mean, a double jump into another nair. And it's just a really, really, really good aerial. It functions as a very standard nair type move. Kind of like Wolves, you know, kind of like Mario's and so on. But the thing with it is that it's just so active with so little lag, and so little landing lag as well, that you can combo from it, you can kill with it. Once you get into like 140s, where it can be sometimes hard to do a kill confirm, you can just do the strong nair and it will actually just kill. It's your main neutral tool, I would say. Whenever you not throw projectiles, be ready to throw a nair. It's basically my super simple day one Youngling game plan. When you're not throwing projectiles, be ready to throw nair. It's an amazing out of shield option. It's an amazing edge guard tool because it has so little lag. You can cover so many different options, and yeah, you can confirm from Boomerang into it. You know, it just really, really completes this whole kit, and why I think he is by far and away better than Toon Link, because Toon Link has a really shitty nair compared to him. Yeah, it's not too much to say about it, honestly. It's good. But one thing I haven't really mentioned is that all of his aerials and back air are among the safest in the entire game on shield. They're all like -2, -3. If you don't know about that, about frame data, basically it means that if you do a nair on shield, you can usually have a response to whatever they want to do against you. So let's say the Lucina wants to grab my nair. Even if it's a weak nair, I have time to spot dodge and then down tilt him as a punish. Basically every single time. Same thing goes for fair, both fair hits, both back air hits. It's not very true for upper and down air, but yeah, you have 3 really amazing aerials that are almost always safe on shield, and in many cases actually gives you the advantage because they're stuck in shield. They don't have as many different advantages. I mean, as many different options as they possibly could, and so you really can just keep up the pressure with doing a lot of aerials on their shield. Okay, so I actually forgot this thing. So Zair is not too big of a deal, but it can combo the things at low percents. So this is a combo, or Zair into dash attack. It's really long range. It doesn't have that much lag. Now the problem is it's not very active. So if you hit them too high like this, you see how it just whiffs. So you have to kind of learn how to time it. But it's still a useful thing to have, and it's his longest range poke. So don't just forget it, I would say, but not the first thing you would use it for. However, it is a very, very good recovery tool. You're gonna kind of have to learn the range on it. It is not as big as some other tethers, but it is still very, very significant. You can use it even while holding a bomb, which you did not used to be able to. And yeah, just a really, really good Zair. Good tether to have, especially since he's never forced, you know, to use the tether. He can always also up B, but along with the tether, he gets a really, really diverse recovery. Younglist, just an amazing, really fast character. I'll probably be doing a lot more advanced videos on him. How to do like crazy bomb Z drops, how to do attack cancel, throw bombs. Let me actually hit it. Stuff like that. Short up arrows, B-stick, wave bounce, all that good stuff. I'll probably be doing a lot more videos on him because he's one of the most fun characters in the game to me. And just in general, I think he's super slept on. He's definitely one of the characters I am looking to main the most. Unlike what I said in my Who Do I Main video. I just kind of tried Youngling out one day offline, and I was just like, holy shit, this character is so much fun. Like, he really lets you pick and choose any option you want in a particular situation. And he always feels like he has 3 options for any type of situation, which means that you can really express yourself. You can choose to camp, but you can also just choose to rush in. And you can also, you know, you can edge guard with bombs, you can edge guard with boomerangs, with just aerials, you can try to 2-frame with down tilt. Like, you just have so many different ways to play the character. And he's really adaptive while also just being straight up oppressive with his projectiles and his pressure. So yeah, hope this is a good first look on Youngling. He also has the best taunt. This one's cool too. This one's shit. Look at the speed he drinks. Chug, 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 chug. Dude, this is the best thing. You hide the bomb. Oh my god, I never thought of that. That's some sheep tech.